Hey, so like I'm smart, but I'm also late diagnosed autistic. Which means there's a lot of things that I've understood my whole life, but I've just never thought about them. I've only understood them under the context that they had been paired under. Like when I would hear a phrase and then I would pick up on the context around it, that those things would be paired together. And then I never gave much thought about it. It was just systematic that that thing recalled the other set of things, those go together. So my whole life I've heard the whole like take your power back. Well, I mean I haven't heard that my whole life. What the fuck? I'm being too autistic with that. Um and I know you can't be too autistic. I know, bitch. Okay. Me to me. The later version of me is gonna watch this and be really irritated with myself because I'm self-conscious of myself unmasked, and so when I watch it back I'm gonna be like, holy fucking shit, bitch. Spit it the fuck out. Why are you mansplaining? So when I'm talking like that, I'm talking to that bitch later that's gonna be judging me right now. Well, I'm judging her first, so you know what I mean? Anyways, the phrase like take your power back. Like obviously I understand under the context of what it means, I know what it means. But my autistic brain likes to make like when I have gone through my own lessons and then had moments where I'm like, oh, whoa, that means that, but that also means like a whole set of other fucking metaphorical shit that I had no clue until it was literally explained to me because I was forced through it like a fucking toddler. Long story short, I just, it's not going to be a short story, so swipe now. Back to what I was fucking saying. Maybe this will click more for the other half of me. It isn't so much about taking your power back. It's about the fact that once you have quote unquote done so, okay, let's say under the guise of not that being that, but if we understand what it is and we think we've done it, we think we've taken our power back, once you do that, you have an immediate understanding that every single thing that happens, whether good or bad, horrible, chaotic, miserable, amazing, abundant, whatever, however, wherever it falls on the spectrum, no matter what, you needed it just as much as, there is no comparison because it was what was presented. It was the way it was presented to you in your life, whether horribly chaotic or not. 11:11 on my timer and 55% on my battery. Whatever it was, however it came to you, however horrible or whatever it is, there's a lesson there or there's a come up there, right? Either way, it's working for you. So it's not about taking your power back. It's about understanding that no matter what happens to you, when you have lived a life of being kind of undiagnosed autistic, a lot of things feel like they're happening to you. Like your life feels like it's just like, because you're accommodating everybody else, you're putting yourself in a mask in a box to not make waves and whatever else. So I know I'm not finishing on my thoughts. I'm very self-conscious of that. That's why I don't fucking do this. I think maybe I need my glass. I'm getting very very aware of the fact that, yeah, sensory, maybe it's, no. Okay, that's a little bit better. Sorry, I'm very aware that I need to be talking and spitting it out, but I'm unable to just start fucking spitting it out, so I need a minute. This paint is weird right here because it looks like there's a hair that dried in the paint. Ew, it totally is. Ew, now that I've noticed that, I'm never gonna be able to No, it's so gross.
Can you see this? You can tell there was a hair in there. You could tell there's a hair in it.
I'm never gonna be the same. Now I'm gonna have to fucking pick that out. There's no way. I'm gonna have to pick that out and repaint the wall. What the fuck? That's disgusting. That's Ooh, boy. Not a fan. No. Like, I'm actually, like, that's disgusting. And now I'm getting the funny fucking metaphor of this being so horrible and disgusting. Needed to happen. It was like, it's the whole fucking purpose of what I was saying of like how, like, I feel like ick and annoyed by that. But then I'm getting like, God is like laughing at me, like, it's like, well, I think you needed that, to see how really fucking autistic you are, bitch. And that's okay though. Why in your head do you, when you see your traits, when you watch yourself back and you see your own traits, when you're unmasked and you see how autistic you are, if there's a problem with that, it really only shows how you've looked at other people like that. Oh, that's horrible. But I've never like looked at other people and like thought that way though. I've just always known that people do that towards those people. I think maybe that's an empathic thing of like knowing that like people were judging those like kids in school that, you know, were like lower masking than me. But we all struggle equally yet different in other, you know what I mean? Like it's a spectrum, but the struggle is the same regardless of where you're at on it. Okay, and that goes back to what I was saying was sorry, I'm trying so fucking hard to not fall apart right now because I hate this feeling of not being concise and like controlled in how I express myself. Like I struggle with that a lot. That's why I struggle with being unmasked, because I'm very analytical, and so it's easy for me to be like robotic in a way, and that's why I could come off before I would, you know, people who knew me would maybe think I would have come off inauthentic, and that's because to a degree it was very automatic and robotic, because I'm very self-conscious of this. And that's because of people projecting though and being like, oh, what drugs, what are fucking you on, or what, you know, all that shit. And it's like, I didn't know that those were associated until you acted like it was, and now I'm nervous and, okay, that's what they're showing me. Okay, that's what I get. Because I was like, that like worried me for a second. I honestly got really fucking stressed because I'm like, I don't judge people. Like when I see somebody unmasked like this, like outwardly to somebody else, I feel at home. I feel relaxed. I feel like I can be myself. I don't have judgment. So where does that judgment come from? And I'm figuring out it's because of the mirror of being an empath, and I'm picking up how it is judged by others. And I've always just had that, but I've never known why I have it, because it doesn't align with how I feel or my viewpoint when I see those people, or when I see videos of myself being like this. I don't have judgment on that or of in myself or others, but it exists there because of me being empathic and feeling it from the other people around me towards others. That makes so much more sense. Okay, whoa, so I can not feel bad about that anymore. Holy shit. I've always like thought I was such a bad fucking person. 909. I've always like thought I was a bad person, and I've never understood why, for like having judgment of myself for things, because I understand the concept that that the judgment goes both ways. Like I see that, and I've always understood that, and so I've always been harder on myself for it, because it's like, well, why is it there? Because, you know what I mean? And now it makes so much sense. It's just because I'm empathic. That's what people mean. Okay, yeah, so taking your power back is that all of those things work for you when you understand the perspective of why God gave them to you. I guess when you connect with yourself and God, and you understand why it's in front of you, no matter how chaotic or horrible it is, there's, you know, a reason for it. I can't think of the word. Like, it's important. I don't fucking know. What